All right, it's a Sunday morning and we're getting ready for our live services. First thing you want to do, make sure you have 4 shots in your from the cafe to get you ready for the morning. It's fuel to get us through the live services. So anyway, first thing, we're not going to reboot this computer or reboot the K2, but I'm going to talk through how to do that in another video. It may actually be at the end of this one, don't know yet. But anyway, at some point we will go over that. But first thing you want to do is reboot the K2 before all services. We reboot all service blocks, I should say. Yeah. So you would reboot in the morning before the 3 services in the morning. You'd reboot before the afternoon services. You'd reboot before the Monday services. Anytime we're having a service, first Wednesday, motion, prayer on Saturdays, you would reboot the K2. And I would do that before, sorry, I said I wasn't going to do that. I would do that before I start rebooting the K2, before you reboot this computer. That way it can be rebooting in the process. But again, we'll go over all that stuff, but we're going to assume right now that it's been rebooted and just waiting for us to log in. So I'm going to click on this and double click here, and it's going to open up. And just a quick note, when you log into it after it's rebooted, it takes it a second to load all this, but it does get it all loaded in there, and it comes up to this right here. So it may take a little bit longer just because of having been rebooted. Again, we've talked about this. So we're in the live services for Sunday morning around usually you get here before 6 or around 6 o'clock that morning, and we'll start recording somewhere between I think 6:30 and 7. Verify with your director, but you would start recording. And the way you do that is you click on this, and you'll see there's a bunch of clips over there. We're going to act like they're not there, but because they may have been deleted. If there are a bunch of clips here, check with your director and see, hey, there's clips on here from Sunday and from prayer. We need to clean them up. Can I delete these? And more than likely on Sunday morning, they're going to say yes. And we'll actually go through that process because I don't need any of these right here, so I'm going to delete them. So it's really simple to do. It's just like any other Windows computer. You can hold your shift key down and grab 2 of them at one time, right click and say delete. And it says, you sure you want to move the selected assets into the recycle bin? Yes, and you can see it frees up some space there. But it's not really freed up anything. It's actually just in the recycle bin, and there they are right there. Now you see there's a lot of stuff in there, and we probably need to clean that out too. But you'll want to empty this recycle bin on Sunday mornings as well. I'm not going to do that right now, but the way you do that is really simple. Go up to Clips right here and click on Empty Recycle Bin. And I'm going to click it now, and it's only going to delete a few of the items. And you'll see that happen. In fact, it might be good for you guys to see it so that you've seen it. So I'm going to click on it. Are you sure to want to delete all the contents? Yes. All right, it's going to tell me failed to delete asset 512 HNPM. Well, that's telling me that this particular thing is being utilized somewhere, and you can't delete it because it's being used, and it is. It's being utilized in this particular playlist right here. And a playlist is just a several clips that are put together, and we'll come back to that. But let's just assume now that all of this stuff has been gone and it's been deleted, and you're with a clean slate. So we're ready to go for Sunday morning. So the first thing you would do after having done that, cleared that with your director, please do not delete anything unless checking with your director. If you see that this is almost full, then it's cause for concern. Then we probably need to let the director know. Now you may see that I deleted some stuff, but this has not changed. Well, it takes it a little bit of time to update, but it'll eventually update, and it will show less space being utilized. You can see it's actually going up now. It just does it really slow. So anyway, let's get on to it. So we want to start recording from Grants Mill. It's around 7 o'clock on Sunday morning, and we want to start recording. So you click on this. You can see that shows red, implying that it's being recorded. Gives us a little clip of what we're recording, and it shows us that we are recording. I'm going to change the name of it. You don't have to do it right here, but this is one way you can do it. The name for this particular clip is going to be the 8 o'clock service. I'm going to look over here in my cheat sheet to see how I'm supposed to name that. Okay. It is Sunday 0800. Enter. So see, that's it right there. You could just as easily rename this after you get done with it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. We do want to we do want to try to name it something to imply or indicate what it is so that we know what it is. Once you start recording, you take this clip. We want to start playing it back down here in this particular deck. So see, this is highlighted blue now. So if I hit the space bar or the play button, I'm gonna hit the space bar, it'll start playing back. You can see that right there. So we're a minute behind. Before you move on to anything else, you want to drag this all the way over to this side to get it as far to the live point as you can. So that's telling me that as we're recording, we're about 4 or 5 seconds behind. So now we're just sitting and watching. We're monitoring the feed with the headphones from the QL1. We're listening and making sure the audio that we're getting is good and it sounds good, and that there are no issues to speak of. And now we're just kind of going through the motions. We're going through run-throughs with the team, getting ready for the service while we're monitoring that feed. If you have to get up and go to the bathroom, that's not the end of the world. Feel free to step out if you need to, but just try to monitor the feed often to make sure audio is coming through well and that the video is coming through. So once you start recording, I want to show you something. I'm going to eject this clip just to indicate something. I want to eject it. Jim, show them the multi-view monitors. You see the thing up there says K2 DVR in the upper left of that, the source monitor or preview monitor, as it were. There's nothing there right now, but when I'm going to drag a clip and put it over in there, it's not going to be anything special. But I'm going to hit play. You can't tell that it's playing, but it is, and I'm dragging it up to the live point, and it didn't change. But it's not until you put a clip in that second C2 deck, the C2 deck rather, that you actually see something up there on the K2 DVR, if that makes any sense. So now this is outputting, and we're just waiting for our point in time to pause in the services. So I'm gonna eject this clip, and I want to load something that's got some movement in it to act like we're actually recording something. So you just got to put on your imagination goggles for a minute. So I'm going to eject this, and I'm going to put this right in here, this 945 playback. And we're going to get to I'm actually going to take out the endpoint. If you need to take out an endpoint, you can just click on the actual time, and I'm going to clear it and click OK. Now the endpoint's gone. You can see it says 0. So now I'm going to back up a little bit into the song. So now let's just imagine that we're recording here and it's playing back here, and we're getting close to our merge point. So now, if you'll show them up there, we're getting toward the end of the song. This particular service is a merge service, and we'll talk through both of those type of services: the regular where we go at news, and ones where we go at the merge point at the end of a song. So it's getting close to the end. You see Pastor Chris is coming up. So once you see that CCLI right there at the bottom, that's where you want to pause. So I'm going to back it up a little bit so we can kind of go into that again. Just hold what you got. We're going to kind of approach that again. So now I'm recording. I know it's coming. There it's coming. The lyrics are up there. As soon as I see the CCLI, I'm going to pause, and I'm going to back my feed up using the arrow keys. Remember the arrow keys, step back a frame at a time.
Show you that.
Yep. And I'm backing it up. All right, now you can show them up there. And you see the lyrics come up. I want this to be going. This is where my point needs to be right there. And see, now all I need to do is sit. That's the point that I want to go live at. And if you'll look down here, and again, you got to put on your imagination goggles again. I'm going to eject this. I'm actually going to click in so we can get right back to it. So this is how you set an endpoint. And we do this. I'm going to shift to the side just a little bit. You cannot do this while it's laying down live, while it's recording this clip. So you can play back a clip as it's being recorded, but you can't set an endpoint as it's being recorded. So if I'm playing back this clip right here on a Sunday morning, which is where I would be, and playing this back, I can't set an endpoint, but I'm doing it now because just so I can get right back to this point and it's easy to get to it. So I'm doing it for more of a procedural thing so that I can move quickly through this rather than an actual real life circumstance. And I'll show you that in just a second. Yes, I want to add, change the clips mark in and click yes. So in order to do that, you just click on the end button and then you say yes at the point that you're at. So I'm going to eject this real quick and I'm going to put this live clip in here right here. And I'm going to move to that live point. So let's just, again, put on your goggles, your imagination goggles for a second. Let me play that back. Helps if you hit play. So we're playing along and I'm seeing those lyrics fall off and I'm ready to hit my pause button. So when I hit pause, and I just did that and I hit the space bar, that's how I paused. It also plays back too, by the way, the space bar does. But you'll see that this time now is going up. So I'm paused at this place, but my time is going up. That just tells me that the recording is continuing on, which is what I want. It's continuing to lay down more video that is being recorded, and now I'm 28 seconds behind, 30 seconds from the end, 32, and so on and so forth. So that's a really good place to check and see how far we're actually behind from the live, what's actually happening in Grants Mill. So most of the time we are paused for anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes. So somewhere in there we're gonna be going live at, but we're already at our point. By this time we communicated with the stage. They know that we're ready to go, and so we're just sitting and waiting for our band and Pastor Chris and our people to catch up to the point where we want to go live at. And when it's time to go live, we using the switcher, and we're not going to involve the switcher this time, but if we're using just the K2, we would hit the space bar to go live, and then we'd activate something on the switcher over here to switch the video, which I'm not going to do that. So but anyway, I'm going to hit the space bar and it'll start. So I want to show here. Let's just show here. There's nothing to see up there. So I hit play and you see it starts playing, and this then becomes constant. So now I know I'm a minute 40 behind the actual live point. So now we're live here locally, and the playback is going into the main auditorium, and we're now live with Grants Mill, or time slipped live with Grants Mill. So anyway, I'm going to eject this clip and I'm going to put this back in here. And we're going to start from the end point. So now we're playing back from Grants Mill, and now we actually have video up there. So we can imagine that we're playing that video back, and I was going to show them something else too, but anyway, it's not really important, not at this point. So anyway, so now we're just watching the feed till the end of the feed. Now that's pretty much the way it works on a Sunday morning.